Okay, we can start our to-do list app. I just did everything in the main.js and index.html. So first, let's add the script. src main.js. To be able to sure this one is connected to there, we can add some tests. Console.log connection established. Let's go back and check on the Chrome. Connection established. So it's good. So we can type our code. So we're gonna put some HTML inside here. It's gonna be a simple h2 to-do list, and it's going to have a form. There will be no action in this form. Let's give an ID of this my form with camel cases. Inside this form, I will have an input tag, and this tag will have text as a type, and I will have a button. This button have not much. We don't need to add anything, just the type of submit. And whenever we submit our form, we will have this page. Let's go here. So I'm going to add that information to here, and I will add all this information into URL, and I will add some li information to here, test. So the whole idea is, whenever I click add, I will add some test here, and let's add one more button to here for delete. So it's going to be inside that, or outside, it's not important. Maybe it's important for deleting. Button, delete, save. So I have delete. So I'm going to type something here, something, and whenever say I add, it will go and add to here. Okay. So to be able to add that information, first we need to add a submit event to this to-do list, and we are going to select this form, copy. You know that we have the connection. I say document.get element by ID, or you can use the query selector. My form dot add event listener. So in this event listener, we are going to have a submit, and after submit, we are going to go this function. For just testing, let's say form submitted, like this. Let's test this. Add. We can see just in a blank page, just really in a second, it comes and it disappears. Form submitted, form submitted, form submitted, form submitted. Because the default reaction of this add is refreshing the page. So I add, it shows, but it just refresh this page and this will be cleaned automatically. So to prevent this, we are using the events. So we need to do pass the e here as an event, and we say e that prevent the default. This function will prevent the default functionality of the web browser, and whenever we go and refresh this page, whenever we pass add, form submitted, add, it will continue to add that. So we are preventing the default behavior of the web page. Okay, now let's get the information from here. This information is in the input box. Let's give an ID to the input box. Where's my input box? Here. Let's say ID of my input. So my input, I copy this. I'll go back to main, and I will say, let's get that information. Document get elements by ID, or let's use the other one just for practice. Query selector. This. dot value is going to be the value that we have. Let's get this and put it to the console. So we are going to print the information that we type in here whenever we add. Whenever we submit, we get the value from the input box and we will console log that information. Save, go back, let's test this. This is going to console, add, and we add this. But we don't want to add it here, we want to add to here. But maybe after we get that information, we can delete this. So let's do this. Instead of logging that information here, let's create a method. We can say add this input to the to list. And in here, we pass this value. Cut, paste, delete. So we're calling this function. So let's create that function. We know that we have an arrow function. We can give the same name, and it will be an arrow function like this. And this arrow function is going to take one parameter, which is this value. We can give this a name of input value. And we can just console log the value that we have, input value. So instead of console log in here, I'm just typing the value in here to be able to see if my function is working. Save, go back, test, 1, 2, 3, add, it's working. Good. So far, so good. So what we can do is we can add that information to our li. So we're not going to do this. We are going to say select this UL, which is ID of my list. Go and get element by ID my list. So we add this list in here, and there's a special function called insert adjacent HTML. This special function is adding an HTML to the selected item. So I want to add something here, and this one has two parameters inside. The first one, where do you want to put the tag? And the second one is the value that you want to pass here. So there are 3 or 4 different ways to add this. There are before and after. Before and there is after and there are like different places that we can add. The difference is in the main, in the index.html, before means before this, after means after this. So we want to add this before begin adds in here, before ends adds in here. So we're gonna go and add the before end. Before end. And the value that we are going to add is a value can be a li tag and test and close the li tag. So we are right now we are not having this value. We are just putting a li test to our HTML file. So if you go back, when you say add, you're just adding test. Add, test, add, test. So it can go forever like this. But we don't want to add this. We want to add the information that we get from the input field, and we want to add that one. So what we can do in here, we can say li here and concatenate the input value like this. But there's a other way that we've seen in the literal template resolvers. So we can say go in the backtick, create a li, and close the li. By using the $sign and this, we can say put the input value here. Save, go back. Testing 1, 2, 3. We add this. More. We add this. Do some debug. Add this. So what if I delete everything that I have here and click add? I add this, which is wrong. This is not what I want. If there's nothing in here, I don't want to put that information. So I can just check this with a simple if. I can say if the input value that I pass is equals to nothing, then return. Do not do anything, just return. So when I go back, did I save? Save, come back. Now I can say learn JavaScript, add, I add that, perfect. Nothing, so it's working. If I have space, I'm adding. So what was the function name? Do you remember? Trim. So we can say dot trim. With trim function, we can come here and test 1, 2, 3 is here. More, it's here. Space, space, nothing. Empty, nothing. So let's just get rid of this autocomplete first of all. It's annoying. What we can do, we can go back to the index.html, and this will be autocomplete is I think it's false, maybe off. I don't remember that exactly. Let's check. Autocomplete in HTML input. It's on or off. So we want to put this off. Let's save, come back, click here. Yes, we don't have any autocomplete. Test, add, test, add. But this one is not deleting itself automatically. So whenever we add, let's clean here. So we already selected this before, right? We know that this one is document query selector.value. What we can do is, after adding that information, we can say value is empty. So I'm just updating the value that I have. Hello, and it's deleted automatically. But it's a little bit annoying when I say go for a walk. When I say add, my cursor is not here anymore. So I can change this by autofocus. So whenever I'm done, I can say this one is dot focus, like this, save, go for a walk, add, I'm there. Do more stuff, I'm there again. So I can add more stuff the way that I like. Okay, so far it's good. What else we can do? We can add a delete button. Before end is good. Maybe I can take this one line down, and I can add a button. It will be delete, and I will close this button like this. So when I save and go back, whenever I say learn JavaScript, add, I have this delete button. More JS here. So it's good. So far it's good. So how can I access this? When I click this one, it's going to be delete this information. I can add an on-click button here. And I can say when you click here, let's say delete this. This will be a function that I call when I click that one. So let's copy this and create that function. Nope. Outside. This is going to have a function, and this function will delete the element. Save. Let's go back. Something goes here, add, perfect. When I click this, delete the element. More stuff, add, delete. But how can I distinguish which one is which? To be able to understand which one is which, I have to use the special keyword this. I can pass this in here, and I can take that as element here, and I can say go and delete that element. So let's console log and let's be sure it's the element that we clicked. Go back, hello, and hi. If I say, let's clean this first. If I say delete this, I have this one. If I say delete this, I have this one. Perfect. So I can remove this element. So if I know it's my element, I can say go find that element and delete, remove. There's a remove function in the JavaScript. So let's go back. This is fun. Add more fun. Add. The funny part, when I click this, I said remove, but I said remove to the element that I selected, which is the one that I send it, which is a button. So when I click, only the button will be gone, not the li. But I want to delete the all. If I want to delete all, I need to find the relationship between this button and the li. Li is the parent of this button, so I can say element dot parent element dot remove. So it will select the parent of this and it will remove completely the li. Save, go back. Is it complete? I don't know. Let's try. Yep. Done. It's good. We can add more stuff. We can say, there's the date. And we can add also new date dot to local time string. Maybe we can use this. This will be the time that we add this item. So we can have this information. Let's copy this. Let's add that information to somewhere before the delete button. I cannot add like this, because if I add this, every single time this is going to be a string. It's not a JavaScript, but I know that I can do that this information will be visible to JavaScript by adding this $sign and the curly braces. So every single time I add a button, I click the button, it will add the value that I pass, and it will add the date. So let's try. Learn JavaScript. Add. I add this. Maybe that. Record the videos. Click. I add that. The second is different. If I wait enough, this can be 0.5, 0.6, and it will continue. We can add the time, we can add the date, whatever you want. More, and more. Ah, it's not 6. Now it's 6. Yay! I add that. Now I can click this or anyone that I want to delete. Then it will be gone. Good. So what we can improve in here is the visual stuff. Just go to Bootstrap, and inside the Bootstrap, I just need to go the home, get started. I will have this link. I will copy this link. I will go back to my code in the index.html. I will add that link to here. Save. Just adding this is changing my design. Maybe I can make this one a little smaller. And we can add more things in the class. So we can push everything into one division. Let's give a class of margin top to 5. It's a Bootstrap class. And we paste everything here. It will just push this down. And maybe margin left 3. It will just push in here to do this. We can change this button color. The ads will be class btn and btn primary. Close this, save, change this, and whenever we go to the main.js, we can add a button class, a button and btn danger. It's just makeup. When we save this, when we add stuff, it will just add this, and when we delete, it will be gone.